Let's get lit, man. What's good with y'all, man? Y'all already know what time it is, man. Today, man, for the dropping these fire reactions, man. We got City Nash, Julio, Foolio murder trial, day one. Prosecutors revealed this. It says the defense says it changes everything. Let's get into it, y'all.
This case, the state outlined for 3 hours, and that is we'll agree that on June 23rd,
followed by this crazy ass shit.
That's Mr. Murphy when he was arrested. You will see tattoos. You see many on his neck and chest. He has a 1200 tattoo on the back of his neck. He has the name of people from 1200 who have been murdered tattooed on his body. And in this video, you will clearly see in the evidence Mr. Davion Murphy taking full credit for his role in this shooting. That is just after his arrest when he is left alone. Wow. In an interview room.
You know they guilty of sin, bruh. Let's get on. The opening statement took 3 hours, but we just gonna trim that down to a couple of minutes.
So you hear him mentioning Mr. Six, that is Charles Jones. The Don Julio you keep seeing, the tequila, again, that is a diss against Charles Jones, whose rap name was Julio Foolio. 5 in the morning, you will find in the evidence in this case that this crime occurred around 4:40 a.m. He says 4 in the car, 1 dead, 3 hit. Mr. Jones was murdered, and 3 other individuals you will find in the evidence. You heard the attempted murder counts against 3 of these defendants. 3 others were hit with gunfire but survived. As I said, Kenyatta Bullard is a certified celebrity. And you also saw that. That is just a still from that video. And that's talking about both Charles Jones and his gang, 6 Block. Charles Jones, also known as Julio Foolio, also known as Foolio, Mr. Six, or just Six. Like Kenyatta Bullard, the person in the last 2 videos that was the lead rapper, who is the public face of ATK, Mr. Jones, the evidence will show, was the public face of 6 Block. He was the main person in that gang, the main spokesperson, and a celebrity with tens of millions of followers on YouTube, Instagram, Spotify. This is a drill rap song that Mr. Jones did a couple of years before his murder. He will talk about several people that are opposing gang casualties. You will see a poster that he is holding and walking around that has 3 photographs on it, 3 young men that were all murdered in a shooting that involved Kenyatta Bullard, Young and Ace, who was the only survivor of that shooting.
If you ever wish payday came sooner, this might actually help. There's a banking app called Current with a bunch of useful features where you can create your own account. $75 bonus when you switch your direct deposit. So make sure you go through the full sign-up process so you don't miss it. If you ever feel like managing money is stressful and tight sometimes, it's definitely worth checking out because that's literally what it's designed for. Basically, what the state did was simple. Straight simple. They just basically said, here's the motive. We break down the motive. We get into the gang wars. We break down the songs. Foolio, Spinning Bins. They, who I smoke, and now I wonder. And then they put in Julio Foolio music, which we not going to be playing because you will get demonetized and struck and all that crap. But I ain't going to lie. They need Foolio to be back alive. Them diss records is hard. I'm just going to be honest. But
I said that too. I said that with rap, they should never kill they out. They should not actually make it personal. They should always like fight or have street beefs, catch one of each other lacking, but like not on no killing junk. That junk can keep their music intensified. Cause I'm talking about gang. I'm from Florida. As soon as that junk does happen, boy, it seemed like the whole buzz died. I'm talking about. It was like even Game Over ain't even hit like the ones before then.
Go on to basically say how dumb these cats are. That by the time they killed Julio Foolio, they get in the car, they go back to the place, They were sneaking around the house so people didn't know. Then afterwards, they just didn't care and got sloppy about it and all that shit. And the state basically proved their case. 3 hours on the opening. All these cats are fried. I don't even, to me personally, I wouldn't even fought this. I would have just took a deal. I ain't saying I would have told, but I would have for sure took a deal. Like, please don't kill me. Please put me in a Lomax. Please get me ready to spend the rest of my life somewhere where we ain't got to waste taxpayer dollars and shit. Maybe I could go in there and do a scared straight or some shit like that. But the opening statement from Murphy's freaking lawyer, I'm just like, you got the most evilest one. Man, what you thought you was doing? Roll it.
What are the facts of this case that the state outlined for 3 hours? And that is, we'll agree that on June 23rd, 2024, Charles Jones, known as Julio Foolio, was in fact shot and killed at the Home 2 Suites in Tampa, Hillsborough County, Florida. As a result of that homicide, 5 people were originally charged: Isaiah Chan, Sean Gathright, Rashad Murphy, Alicia Andrews, and Davion Murphy. That's why we're here, okay? And what was the motive for that homicide? The state alleges that it was a gang war, and it may well have been a gang war. They went through a number of individuals over the years, all the way back to, I believe, to 2018, and I'm not going to go through them all, but I believe they talked about Spaz and Bibby and Jake Jidd and Lou Hobie and Tilly and Mr. Jones himself, who was shot, that this was the background of the gang war that was going on. So that it's absolutely clear Mr. Davion Murphy is in no way a suspect, a defendant, or anything to do with any of those homicides and the attempted homicide on Mr. Charles Jones, okay? It has nothing to do with Davion Murphy. It has to do with the alleged gang wars between some gangs. So just make sure that that's clear. Also, the state, in its opening, went into the drill rap videos. Again, they're alleging that this is part of the motive for the death of Charles Jones, that these drill rap videos were dishing or being disrespectful to each other, and that's what caused part of the wars that apparently allegedly go back to 2018. We're talking about Spin Events and Youngson Ace, and these are some of the drill rap performers, and some of which, but again, so that we're clear, this is part of the motive, and nowhere in any of those videos, those drill videos, is Davion Murphy mentioned, a participant, name brought up, or anything. It has nothing to do with Davion Murphy, okay?
Sir, everybody can't be a rapper. Just because you're affected by something doesn't mean you have to get on wax. That man went and slid. That man got it popping. That man, listen, his freaking text at... Come on, bro. Come on, man. But you had to do what you had to do. He has to try to get out of this, but I'm just looking like, bro, ain't no way in hell this lawyer finna try to bullshit us. And trust me, he tries to bullshit us.
State's evidence. What is the state's evidence, or lack of evidence, as it applies to Davion Murphy? Do show somebody doing some shooting, but we can't identify who the shooters are, okay? So what is the evidence that the state hopes to convince you beyond the exclusion of every reasonable doubt that Davion Murphy is somehow involved in the death of Charles Jones? There's the evidence from the Airbnb. All right, what evidence is there from the Airbnb? The state brings that up. The only
I might need to get gas some water or something.
time that you see Davion Murphy at the Airbnb is when he's leaving. The day, it was technically still the 23rd, but in the later morning of the 23rd, that afternoon, that day, the 23rd, there is no video of who they allege Rashad Murphy as a participant in this homicide, and there is no video of Rashad Murphy at the Airbnb. So the only time that we see Davion Murphy is leaving the Airbnb, and earlier in the evening, prior to the actual homicide, we see him at the McDonald's drive-thru, the video that the state showed you on that. Recall that the vehicle that he's in is not the black Impala, but the silver Cruise, okay? Right. The state mentions and goes through a long litany of the license plate readers, etc., that they allege that's evidence to try to convince you that Davion Murphy is somehow involved in the homicide of Charles Jones. The license plate readers, number one. Obviously, you can't tell who's in the vehicles, number one. Mr. Davion Murphy is not the owner of any of those vehicles, the silver Cruise. And we cannot tell, as I've indicated, who the actual occupants are of that vehicle. It's the state's speculation that it is, in fact, Davion Murphy. Now, I believe the detectives will testify that although there was a Ring camera at the Airbnb, there was no camera in the rear portion of the Airbnb. We're not sure exactly who all was in the Airbnb. We know that Rashad Murphy allegedly is not in the Airbnb because there's no photos of him coming or going from the Airbnb. And what about the state touched on the security videos that came from the Teasers Club? There's zero security video of Davion Murphy at Teasers or at Truth 18. Those security videos where you see some of them walking up and they showed you the video of Charles Jones. There's no videos or showing that Davion Murphy is at either one at Teasers or at Truth 18. The state, I believe, indicates that the occupants of the Black Impala, the three individuals at the Home 2 Suites that exit from the Black Impala, and those are the individuals the state alleges are the shooters. However, obviously, in any of the videos, you cannot identify any of the shooters that exit the Black Impala. The state also presented a lot of evidence that was recovered at Sean Gathrights' residence. All the guns, the ammunition, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. None of that whatsoever is in any way connected to Davion Murphy. Okay? What about the cell phone records? I believe the state
Exactly.
talked about that. The important thing, the bottom line, the state in their opening showed you the history, not the history, but the cell phone records of how it hit cell towers, etc. All those towers. The state cannot show you any cell phone records that show that Davion Smith was ever at the Home 2 Suites. Okay. There may be evidence of the other co-defendants or co-defendants that may have been present, but the phone records will show that Davion Murphy was not at the Home 2 Suites at the time of the homicide of Charles Jones. Okay.
So because of the stalking part of this and the premeditated part of this, it's literally a freaking death penalty case. Some of the notes that I have here that I wrote down basically is just this, right? Davion Murphy's lawyer is basically saying the phone exonerates him, right? So that's what Davion Murphy's is freaking saying. Then Rashad Murphy's lawyer is one of the worst because he basically say, hey, bruh, the witnesses, they're not going to be able to identify the killers or no shit like that. Then Sean Gathrights' freaking lawyer says, oh, well, he didn't really have nothing to do. He didn't send any shots. He didn't do anything. Well, the guns allegedly came from his mama's safe. And he hunted and he stalked and he did.
Exactly. This nigga's chased the nigga to a whole couple cities over.
Did all of this shit. So even though you didn't squeeze no triggers, all right, that's true. You didn't squeeze a single trigger, but you passed them all out like goddamn candies at a trick or treat. You know what I'm saying? So he's going to be done too. He may not get the death penalty. Let's see. Isaiah Chance's lawyer says basically the state can't meet the significant freaking burden of proof that they actually did it. As though these cars stop somewhere, swap people out, and all of this shit and everything like that. And it doesn't make any damn sense. But they had to fight. My whole entire question is, sorry for leaning back, because I know the audio goes out, so my apologies. Bruh, how in the hell did y'all not try to get a plea deal just to get life without the death penalty? Because if I look up how long it takes for Florida to freaking do the death penalty, like, Let me see.
Yeah, he did that lethal injection. Boy, I'm tired. I gotta go get these jitty bugs. I'll be back, y'all.
Going to live for about as long. They leaning on 22 to 23 years, in the on the freaking on death row, and it's saying between 23 years and 13 years. But basically, they leaning on 22 to 23 years. So you're going to live for about as long as you live. As long as you lived your actual life on the streets, you're going to live that portion of your life in god dang in the cell. And I got to be honest with y'all, bro. I get it. I know I'm not supposed to say that. I know I'm not supposed to be like, yeah, bro, this, and that. I'm really supposed to make fun of these cats because it is what it is. But, bro, I know too many stories like this right here where nobody decided to say, you know what, the most powerful thing to do is to not. Let these idiots have this shit because the police already know all this shit. Every year that we exist on this earth in this great country of the United States, we are being more and more and more comfortable with invasion of privacy, with security. A Ring camera is literally designed for the police. It's not designed for you fully. So now, everything that you guys do, everything you guys see, bruh, it's all recorded. The ATMs have 24/7 recording on ATMs that just sit in random spaces, random places that clock all this shit. Y'all got cell phones because y'all don't know how to print up maps, I guess, and all this shit and everything. And while they were doing all of this planning, they didn't plan to spend the rest of their lives in prison. They didn't plan on getting caught. But they didn't plan on success either. See, if you really, really, really wanted to do this crap, bro, first things first. I can't tell you how to get away with it because I do know how to get away with it. But it ain't worth it, bro. Foolio's dead. Ace's rap career is done. The whole Jacksonville scene feels like it died when Lil Papa died. And y'all got nothing out of it. All y'all got is the chance to fight people, the chance to
messed up everything else, dog. Y'all boys could have been eating together or just going against each other, but they ain't got to take it that goddamn far.
Get shot at, the chance to shoot at people. People are dead. Kids now will grow up looking at this shit and making decisions based off of the shit y'all did.
Yep.
For blocks y'all don't own property on and all of this shit.
Man, speaking of that, man, listen, I be listening to my uncle. You know, I got older kids and stuff, man. Listen, man, them kids be talking about crazy stuff, y'all. Them boys really messed up them kids' brains, man. That's all they care about now. They care about taking a life away from somebody, then making a life with somebody. Like, real talk, they ain't worried about no wives. They worried about killing somebody, bro. It's crazy, illing somebody. You know what I'm saying? In GTA. But, man, that's crazy, y'all.
So, in the end, it's not just a Jacksonville thing. It's an American thing. We had this shit going state to state. I don't give a damn what some of y'all try to paint it to this, bro, when I can tell y'all, bro.